Well, I think the thing is what people fail to realize is they live in America with rose glasses. I tell people all the time, a lot of what people have seen has desensitized them to the reality of where America currently stands. When you begin to look at the fact that we elected 2008
Hmm.
a dark skinned man
Mm-hmm.
to hold the highest office in our country, most people will equate that to uh, racism is dead.
Mm.
Uh, um, but like I tell a story to equate that. So um, basically, every year, the Niagara Falls has a contract with the White House.
Okay.
So every year, the president has a ceremonial event on Thanksgiving. Well, Niagara Falls will give two turkeys a pardon from the slaughter
Okay.
of all the other turkeys
Okay.
on Thanksgiving. It's really ceremonial. It doesn't have a lot of fanfare, but
Mm-hmm.
these turkeys get to go to the Rose Garden. They take pictures with the first lady,
Correct.
the
Right.
dog, and
Uh huh.
they pardon these two turkeys. These turkeys get to live
Right. Right. Right.
while
Right.
other turkeys are sitting on people's dining room table. So most people will see those two turkeys and judge the plight of all turkeys because those two turkeys made the White House.
Mm-hmm.
But those two turkeys does not represent what takes place on that day across the
That
country
is
and
correct.
across
That
the
is
world.
absolutely yes.
And so if you just look at the turkey that made it to the White House,
Hmm.
you'll think that there are no turkeys, at all. The truth of the matter is, we have some turkeys who have been in the high offices, high places, but we still have a lot of turkeys being slaughtered. And every day we see getting slaughtered, but you can't imagine the plight of a group of people because of the success of a few. I
Right.
mean, you can't say Oprah Winfrey is a millionaire. Michael Jordan is the only African American minority owner
Mm-hmm.
in the
Mm-hmm.
NBA. Barack Obama became the president. Also, black people got to be doing well. No, that's not the case.
Right. 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 Right.
Just because a handful of people have seen
Mm-hmm.
success doesn't equate to the whole entire African American race being successful.
And you know what? What I think I learned, one of the many things I've learned over the last several days was that um, white people really have no vision as to what racism really is. And I say that because I listened to this woman and I heard her say that, and then when I heard her say that, and she says, "I'm not. I just I'm a white woman." So I don't know what it's like to be followed around or to be not get something because of the way I look. So she says I had no vision as to what racism is. And I actually thought about that. I said, "Oh, that was interesting," because I just automatically assume. I think we all assume that you know what racism is. You know, and so if you're not black, and if you had not have to deal with the things that we deal with on a daily basis, so let's not forget, we all deal with some form of racism, no matter what we accomplish in our lives. We deal with some form of racism every single day. So if you being a white person and you don't deal with that every day, you would not have any idea what that was like. So I say this. I said for George Floyd's family and all the other families who have lost their loved ones from police ignorance or violence or hatred, bigotry, whatever you want to call it. You unless you saw it, you was like, oh, okay, they just get mad because another black person got killed. But I think what happened with this one is that, especially with this man's family, I say he did not die in vain because you literally watched someone take his life in a way that was completely unjust. In a way that it was just so normal for him, as if he was just sitting there reading a newspaper or something, to have your foot on somebody's carotid artery, and for 8 minutes and 45 seconds, which in reality the man probably had expired within the first 3 to 5 minutes, and he still remained there. So I think that has what also struck quite a few white people, and they're saying, "Wow, I can't believe this." But we live with that every day, do we not?
Yes, ma'am.
when you watched that video, what did you feel? What did you think?
Well, I don't know if I can say how I really feel.
Dr. Fight, go ahead and say, we keep it real around here. Come on with it.
But I was mad. I was, and not only mad, but I really, it's what people don't understand is, as an African American male myself, as well as raising two African American male children. Yeah, oldest son, I mean, obviously he's 21 now, but having as a knowing that he's living in this world where every day is a crapshoot, it's a gamble.
That's awful. That's awful.
Telling our black kids, the way we raise our black children is completely polar opposite to how white people have to raise their children. We tell our children, if you see cops, just comply to make it home. It doesn't matter who you with, what you doing, what happened. Then you say sit down, sit down. You say get up, you do what you gotta do just to home. That in and of itself, white parents don't have to have a conversation with their children. These are things that these type of acts, every time we see them, it reminds me of the fact that you have to continue to comply. And when you do comply like he did, you can die. Like there's no definition for us. It hurts. It hurts to know that country people are afraid of the color of your skin, but not by the actions by your hand. It really hurts. And then not only does it hurt, you get belligerent, you get upset.
Right.
You get mad, you want to do something. I tell people all the time, this ignorant anger doesn't help you get further in your cause. It's okay to be angry. Jesus got angry. But you got to understand there needs to fuel your fight towards a direction that you change. You can't take that anger and begin to destroy your community. It doesn't help your cause in getting to where you get to.
I hear you saying that. And there was a young girl, there was a young woman, and they asked her about an incident that was taking place in Chicago last evening, and she said we march peaceably. We come out here in peace. We want to get our message across. But she said when we are peaceful, nobody listens to us. She said now that things are like it is. She said now our voices are being heard. And I could not say that I disagree with what she said. Do I agree with the violence? Absolutely not. But do I understand it? Yes, I do. Am I mad at them about it? No, I'm not. And I say that because there's quite a few, because as I said, I talked a lot this week to many people, and they felt the exact same way. When we're calm and we want to have a conversation, you want to placate, pat on the back, and say, "Oh, okay, I hear you," and keep it moving. So my question is, how long do you have to keep talking? How long do you have to keep talking?
Well, I don't think it's a talking issue. I think we're okay. Let me rewind. As Mr. Elliott said back in the day, let me reverse it. All
right, Dr. Fight, come on with it. Yes.
Black Lives Matter was founded in 2013.
Yes.
7 years. I'm not quite sure. I think it was July of 13, somewhere in the summer. So we're approaching 7 years of Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
The Black Lives Matters have had marches. Some of those marches have turned violent. They have issues what they would see out of every initiative that they have. Not one in 7 years has come to pass. Now they've gotten police officers fired. They've cases. Some of them, most of them, hadn't ended in any type of conviction. And so the problem is not the talking. We've been sitting at tables talking. We're not seeing any change.
So if you're not seeing the change, What is it you need to do? Okay, so you said we put these laws in. I heard over the weekend, Valerie Jarrett, she spoke, and she said when the first year President Obama was president, he put into law all police officers, when they have one incident, they're on notice. When they have a second incident, they're automatically terminated. Well, this man that sits in the House now, he came in and wiped all of that out. So when you have someone who just blatantly does something like that, how do you expect people to keep responding, sensibly? How do you tell people just stay calm?
Well, that goes to the systemic nature of racism we was talking about earlier. First of all, when you have someone who is racist at the helm of the country, some of the people of the country will be blatantly wanting to be racist only because they have the support in higher office. I mean, I said it in an interview, and I'll say it. You got a tangerine to the rest of the country. It is poison to the streets of the world. It's horrific. But what do you tell these individuals is that racism won't change until white men change.
Woo, I like
It's
that.
not going to change. It's not going to change by you marching. It's not going to change by you yelling and tearing.
That's correct.
It ain't going to change because at the end of the day, white men are the only species on this in the United States who doesn't have an amendment that gives them the right to do anything. They're born with the black women and white women got the right to vote in the 18th Amendment. African Americans got a right to be free in the 14th Amendment. And so when you begin to look at the fact that in the 15th Amendment, black men got the right to vote. So when you begin to look at the fact that we need a law in order for us to be treated equal, white men don't have now one. Out of all the amendments in the Constitution, none of them address the fact that they can consider a complete citizen, that they can consider a right to vote. They don't have to be discriminated against and protected. No, they're just naturally born. And white women who marry like men are riding on the coattail. In fact, we have a white privilege of a man that affords them the opportunity to think how they want to think when it comes to every ethnicity in this country. So when you begin to look at the mere fact that there is a privilege that comes with being white, then, why do I need to change? Why do I need to look at you as like, why do I need to look at you as somebody who I can care for? Until that changes, we're not going to see any change. We can march because if that white man owns a Fortune 500 company like Walmart and decide, if black people decide we're not going to shop at Walmart anymore, then guess what happens? Now I want to know what I can do with the money again. So I do a PR campaign. Remember Papa John's?
Right.
Came out, made a very racist statement. But then they got Shaquille O'Neal to be on their PR campaign. They started showing Mexican Americans, African Americans in their commercials. And we ran back to Papa John's and started buying Papa John's because one person is racist don't mean all of us are racist. And so we bought the idea and we went right back. Nothing ever will change.
So when you made the statement, you said about the white man that they're the only ones who's not addressed in the Constitution. So how would we go about then addressing them in the Constitution so that they had to abide by? Because what you said is a valid point. It's like that they are born with privileges. They are born with certain rights, with all the rights, if you want to be honest. Yeah.
Right. It's considered white privilege.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a real thing. Most people will say, well, my whiteness doesn't offer me any more privilege than anything in the world. But I promise you, there's been studies done, and they've been made very public. If you take a white person named Richard and a black person that's named Richard, they will probably interview both of them. Today, most people hire white Richard because they hire the black.
Oh, absolutely.
That's anything with qualifications.
Absolutely.
It's a privilege. We got to work double as hard. We got to be twice as smart. And you got to be 3 times as smart and work 3 times as hard. And just
Absolutely.
what everybody else don't naturally work for. It's a problem that continues to plague in our society, and until somebody within that privilege makes a decision and say, I'm tired of people not getting the rights that I'm getting,
Mhm.
if that becomes contagious